Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to On Texas Football, and welcome back to your Wednesday live stream, the Hump Day edition on Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Pleased to be joined by fellow Lifetime Longhorns. One of them is a national champion, though. That's my man, Marcus Myers. Also, my man, C.J. Vogt, the young prodigy, joining us as well on this Wednesday night live stream. But, of course, the most important person on this live stream is you, the people. It's a show of the people, for the people, and by the people. So whatever you guys want to talk about, throw it out there. Questions, comments, we'll try to address as many of them as we can. Super chats always jump to the front of the line, and you can interrupt the show at any time. Just throw out a super chat. We got some recruiting nuggets we're gonna hit. Also, if you're a gamer out there, then you're really excited because I believe the video game ratings for college football, EA Sports college football is out for 2026. So we'll get into that as well. Shout out to my man CB, always keeping up with the B-Days and anniversary. We appreciate that. And happy birthday again, 6th Street, CJ. Hold up. What? Is it CJ's B-Day today?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
CJ, I love how this is a guy thing. This is a guy thing, and I'm going to talk about it right now for a second. Happy 40th birthday, CJ. No, CJ's like, what are you, 26, 27?
29, Rod.
Damn.
I know. Thanks.
That's no, dude, I'm 45, so I'm not hating on you. But I thought you were younger. I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were a little younger than that. You are, you grown man style now. You're approaching 30, so yeah, grown man style. But happy birthday, CJ. This is my problem with dudes. You can be friends with dudes, and unless you're stalking them to learn their birthday, dude will never tell you his birthday. You won't even know. You be celebrating his birthday on the day you hanging out with him, and you'll be like, bro, it's your birthday? Yeah, man, no big deal. It's like, hold up, can you share with us, CJ, your special day? You try to hide this from everybody? Why do we take the fan, the OTF fam, to let me know that it's your B-Day today?
Well, look, I think it's one of those things. You know, the guys want to talk ball. The guys want to chop it up in the chat. You know, let's keep it about the boys. But so everybody, thank you very much for the happy birthdays. That means a lot. You know, it's been a fun day. You know, only about 8 hours in the car earlier, driving from Austin down to Thibodaux, Louisiana. But Rod, it's the same type of situation. This past weekend, I was up in Oregon for a wedding, and I was with a bunch of old high school friends. And I come back and I call my mom, recap some of the wedding, and they're like, "Oh, so what's everybody doing these days?"
I don't know.
It's on that phone. I mean, you just get back in the groove with some of the guys that you've hung out with for all of your life. And it's like, I don't need the update. Let's just go back to hanging out like we have been our whole lives. So, I think it's just one of those things. It's a guy thing, no doubt.
I can usually tell my mom the company that my boys work for. But then after that, no, Mom, I don't know what they do. I have no clue. Actually.
Yeah, they're selling
I couldn't tell you.
That's
they're doing well, though. They're doing well.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
No, that's great. It's how different guys are. I remember going to I went to Jeff Howe's baby shower when he first had baby girl. Right before he had baby girl, so the baby shower. And wife was there and all of her girlfriends and they're hanging out, having a good time. And obviously that was kind of the dudes version of it, hanging out. We was hanging out in the kitchen, having a good time, talking ball. And we hung out for a while. It was a good time. And I get home, my wife's like, "You went to the baby shower?" I was like, "Yeah, baby shower." She's like, what they gonna name the baby? I was like, "I don't know." we never talked about the name of the baby. It never came up. We didn't even get that far in the conversation about that. So, and I realized like that's just dudes. We hung out and talked for 2-3 hours, but I really didn't get that information. So it's information that guys care about, information that the ladies care about, and guys don't care about your B-Day. I mean, they don't care about their own damn B-Day, let alone your B-Day. So
it's just another day.
Well,
again, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. This has been a fun day. A fun day.
I did not call you a stalker, CB. I'm just saying, unless you are kind of now, CB, because CB I think puts like these like reminders out there and like these like reminders on his phone, and CB's been doing the birthdays for CB. It might be a decade plus. You've been doing this. Right? You've been doing it for more than 10 years. So you got like a database almost. Like you've got all the birthdays cataloged and everything because you've done the hard work about that. So I'm not calling you a stalker. I appreciate you, CB, because when nobody else is wishing the dudes a happy birthday, CB will shout you out on Twitter.
That's right.
Your mama and CB gonna hit you up for your B-Day. That's about it. Now you never know who's gonna hit you up, but your mama and CB gonna be like, "What's up? Happy birthday." There you go.
CBB. He put it out in the timeline before my mom even called me this morning. I'm dead serious.
That does sound like my man CB. It sounds just like all right. So we appreciate CJ. Happy B-Day, CJ. 29. I will say I got to find a new nickname for you because the young prodigy, we might be past the young prodigy stage.
Look, I've said for a long time, 2027 is going to be my year. We're halfway there now. So I'm getting old, Rod. 2027, I'll turn 30. I certainly can't have that nickname then.
Yeah, you can't have it then. No, I'm gonna find something new for you, CJ. We're gonna find a new nickname for CJ because the young prodigy. I've been calling you that for 4 or 5 years now. I guess we passed that point with CJ being the young prodigy. He's moved on, advanced.
And happy belated freelance as well. Good to see you in the chat as well.
Freelance. It's been a while since I've seen you around. Freelance actually works hard and does kind of hardcore, real deep. Thorough journalism, talking about actually covering real topics that affect us in our society, in our world. So he doesn't always get a chance to kind of hop into the chat and hop out. We appreciate when Freelance Society joins us, man. He's bringing the brain power. He's bringing the brain trust with him. All right, let's talk about first before we get into these EA Sports college football video game ratings. Do you guys still play? CJ, you still play the game? Are you still a gamer?
We got the console.
You don't have any time.
We got time, Rod B. We'll get back into it.
Okay, all right. Because you're going to trust me. The older you get, Marcus, we used to be on the game too. The older you get,
yeah. I don't catch near as much time, bro. And since it's come back, I buy it, and then I might log a couple late night hours the first few days, and then after that, it's a wrap.
No, I got the system. I don't even know if y'all can see it here. I got a system right down there. You see that little? It's right there. See the Longhorn? That's my new gaming system. I haven't played the damn thing one time. I'm with you, boy. I bought it. I went into this game. College football is going down. Every time wifey hits me up, baby girl wants to go play. I ain't got 3 hours to set aside to play a game, but I want to.
None at all.
I would like to very much. All right, before we get to the EA Sports video game and some of the other topics, your questions, comments, guys, throw them out there. Jerry's famous for a lot of reasons. Jerry Hamilton is famous for a lot of reasons. He actually discovered Rod B. Back when I was a nobody out there just trying to get some drills in at North Shore. Man, Jerry Hamilton was out there. So Jerry is famous for a lot of things, even his constant presence at the airport, all right, to make sure he tracks down these prospects that are coming on campus. But he also is famous for his these little highs. Two questions. Where was the genesis of the high thing? Where did it come from? Because it's such a random thing. And there's also apparently a high out there that people are trying to They're trying to hypothesize or prognosticate who the high is for. But before we get into that, where'd the high come from? Because I don't even know.
Where did the affinity for mayo on corn dogs come from? That just might just be a Jerry thing. I think he had been doing it long before I started working together with him. But now, I credit the OTF family and the community that we have over here because it's taken a life of its own. Anytime you see Jerry say hello on the board, it's just 2 letters high. And it's a frenzy, right? You start getting all the clues, all the detectives coming in together, trying to figure out who's who. What does this mean? What class is it? What position? But it's taken a life of its own. It's been fun to follow. And sometimes I sit there and say, Jerry, who is this? Where are we at right now?
So do you have what do you feel? You don't even know who the high is either. That's how secretive it is. Only Jerry really truly knows who the high is that he's throwing out there because he's on the road doing the hard work. You got an idea who this may be? Because the Longhorns got there's several. We'll get into this. Several announcement dates coming up here before July that really could change the entire complexion of this 27 class.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for pulling that up, Matthew. I will say the high, and this is as far as I'll get into it. The high is not a name on this list. And so for folks wondering at home, I know that's a good group of really talented prospects that all officially visited, except for Neiman Lawrence, who's a 2028 quarterback this month of June. The high is not on this list. So keep an eye out. I expect it to pop pretty quickly. But again, decision dates, as we're talking about it right now, the one this evening, Dylan McGee, the cornerback from DeSoto, actually just popped in favor of Penn State. So you can cross him off. He picked Penn State over Texas and SMU. Now all eyes go to tomorrow, where Neiman Lawrence, the 2028 5-star level quarterback out of American Heritage, will set to make his announcement as well. Texas right there in the thick of things. And as we've seen in recent years, Texas likes getting that quarterback in the class in the month of June to then fill out or at least begin constructing what that class might look like going into the junior year for a lot of these guys.
Okay. So these guys you got, could you put that up one more time for me, Matthew? Thank you. I apologize about it. I'm old, man, so it takes me a while to process it. CJ, which of these do you feel best about? Do you feel most optimistic about? If you had to be bullish on any of these remaining decisions here before July, which ones are there? Which one?
Yeah, I think Junior Tupou's in a really interesting spot. Texas is in a big need right now for a talented safety. And I know picking a kid out of Alabama, away from Auburn is not easy to do. But talking to him after his official visit to Texas, he said, I have no real ties to Alabama, right? I only lived there for about a year. Previously, he was in Florida. Leaving state is not a big thing for him. He said, I want to go play where I feel like I'm wanted the most. And also going back to the spring where he took a 4-day unofficial visit with basically his entire family to Austin. Texas is in a great spot, and I think they made a fantastic job making him feel like a priority, making him feel wanted on his official visit. I look at Junior Tupou and say, okay, that's a spot right now where Texas needs a guy, and I think Junior Tupou feels like he could be that guy. He's probably top of the list, but I will say with McGee now committing elsewhere, you look at Montre Jackson and Brandon Sherrard and say, okay, which of these guys, if not both, end up in this class opposite of John Meredith III? Texas needs corners, Rod, and they got some really talented ones set to make a decision here in the next week.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that, CJ. Great breakdown there. All right. We got a couple super chats we'll get to, and then we'll dive into some questions, other topics as well. Brandon. Hey, Brandon, we appreciate the love as always, my man. Brandon, hey, I told you I got a package coming for you, Brandon. He's got 2 of them. First one, thank you for the super chat, Brandon. Says, let's get it, boys. Hook him. He's excited. I'm excited too, Brandon. Always good to have you in the chat, brother, bringing the energy. Also said, this is for you, CJ. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. Brandon's I can say Brandon's quickly rising up those OTFAM rankings, man. He's damn near at the top. There's a quick rise, right? It's a meteoric, I believe.
Meteoric, yeah.
Meteoric rise in the OTF family. Honestly, Brandon, I ain't gonna lie. Like, Brandon, when did you join? When did you join? Did you join OTF fam like 3 weeks ago? Because
rising star.
Yeah, so I'm saying I gotta know when you put out there when you joined, Brandon. I want to know, man. I want to know when you joined. Also, I see in the chat y'all challenging us to an old school video gaming competition. I seen that couple times. Matthew talking about he would beat us in some Mario Kart. Was that what you said? Was it Mario Kart? Listen, y'all don't want to mess with me in old school video games. So back in the day, when you talking about Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario Kart, or we talking about Halo, any old school video games, I'm in. Even the old Maddens, I'm in. All right, but the new school stuff, I'll admit, I don't even know what the buttons. I don't know what the buttons do in the new video games. I'm that ignorant. Old school video games, hey, I'll put Dr. Mario. Hey,
Mario.
I know Mario Kart. I'll tell you like this. I probably could do this, and every football player probably can do it. Marcus, what were the most popular video games on the team when you played? And yes, I've only lost a few games of Uno in my life. CB, you're right. I can count them on one hand. I am so good at Uno. I'm like, I should be in a Vegas Uno tournament, dude. I'm telling you, I'd be a millionaire.
Uno savant.
Yes, that's a different discussion. But when you were playing, there's a certain games that guys are just getting on all the time. What were the top games when you?
Man, I mean, at the time, NCAA was out, and you could play with yourself on the game, right? So it was like.
Yeah,
we all would kind of run to that. And then I think that was also kind of around like the Grand Theft Auto era. So you weren't necessarily like playing against each other, but that was something you could kill some good time with.
Yeah, that was real. I like that.
Infinity, or what is it? The glitches?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat glitches.
Yeah. We weren't on the. Oh man, honestly, I'm so old. I don't even know when Grand Theft Auto came out. It might have been out after your boy started, but we was big on obviously college football and Madden were big when we played.
Yeah,
FIFA must have just come out too because guys were playing FIFA. I
remember Roy always playing FIFA.
Yeah,
like people would go to Roy's dorm room to play FIFA.
That's exactly right. I remember them getting. I'm like, why y'all getting on FIFA? I can play football. FIFA. Halo was big, man. We were deep into Halo. I'm talking about. Yeah. I remember being on Halo till 3-4 in the morning, and we played teams. So guys, we were just taking each other out. Halo was big, and also Mario Kart. I ain't gonna lie to you, Shanahan My man Shano was a beast on the Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And we used to play the Mario Kart. That's kind of a break when you got a break from like the football and a break from Halo. It was like Mario Kart we throw in there. So there you go. Yeah, I'm probably aging myself, but that's all right. Okay, getting back to super chats here. We got another super chat, a couple of more. Rocky P, what's up? Rocky P said, Ed Rod, did you see Jammer on the Raw Room? No. He stood 10 toes down for DBU versus LSU. Dude. Oh, I gotta look for that. Who does the Raw Room? I don't even know if I know that.
It's what's the big offensive tackle's name? King Dum, is it? It's not King Dunlap, is it? Was he offensive tackle for the Chargers?
Oh,
or am I thinking of the defensive end? Well, it's a bunch of former NFL guys, one of which is also a coach now as well.
Okay.
So think of it as like the football version of like 520 with Jeff T.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Darren. It says Raw Room podcast. So I think you're right. It's like 4 NFL players on this thing, man. It's a bunch of NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of them is a LSU guy.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it out, guys. I apologize about that. Oh, yeah, here you go. That's why Matthew's the best in the business. King Dunlap, Darren Bates, Jalen Collins. Okay. And Alex Sweet, who's a recreational league champion. I have not checked it out, but I will. Quentin, my man Jam is wild.
Good.
Jam is wild. Yeah. I would say y'all who have been interested. Yeah, y'all seen him on Twitter. Y'all like, that's crazy. Jam's always been like that. That Jam y'all see on Twitter,
that's in real life.
Yeah, I've been knowing from day one. Like that is Jam. That's Jam in a nutshell right there. Y'all just get little snippets of it. But I roomed with Jam. Like on the road games, Jam was my roommate. And me and Jam got real close. Jam's my dog. He's one of my all-time favorite players at Texas. I don't think we give enough props. What was he, a top 5 pick?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I think he was like a
5 or 6. Yeah.
Jam is the real deal. I have not seen it, but I will go check it out. And that out. I wonder, have they had Jam on Coffee and Football?
No, I don't think so.
They scared to have Jam on.
I don't think so.
I will say, right, I mean, because I've seen Jam on Twitter go after guys, you know, when he gets in that argumentative mode, that's not someone you don't want to be on the other side of that.
No.
So I need to go check out where how that conversation went. Because I know it was heated. I know he had his facts. I mean, it's very easy to just say, look at me, right? Look at who I played with in my rooms. And I mean, but the way things are trending now, there's more reason to think Texas will continue that lineage. Again.
That is a good one. LSU, I feel like Texas all time would have the advantage over LSU, but I feel like as of recently,
the 2010s LSU dominated.
Yeah, I say they closed the gap. I think in the last 15, 20 years.
Yes.
I feel like you're talking about all time. I do feel like Texas has the advantage all the time. But I ain't gonna disrespect LSU DBs. No. I'm not that. No. I got too much respect for them boys. This is what I think about DBU. DBU is like being the fastest man in the world. You don't keep the title. You don't. You can't. Somebody else going to grab it when they start putting out great DBs. It's one of those things like once you are a DBU, I think you can claim it. Like you're Ohio State, Florida State. I think you can claim it once you have been recognized DBU. But if you've never been recognized DBU, don't be putting your name in that title. But
Florida.
You ain't never been in there. Don't be putting your name in there. But LSU, Ohio State, Texas, of course. I think there are schools that, yes, Florida State, they can be in that DBU title, no doubt. And no matter what era it is. That's how
keep Florida out of there. I will say DBU, Alabama in the safety room.
Alabama.
I think you look there and you say, yeah.
Totally agree.
I mean, that's another one. But I've long debated friends dating back 10, 15 years at Florida. Get them out of here. Because they try to sneak their way in there. It's like you got Joe Hayden and then who?
Exactly. you can't claim DBU if I can't list off 5 to 8 names top of my head. Great DBU. Right. You can't do that. You ain't in DBU. And it's okay. I'm sure you're good at something else. Thank you for that super chat, though, Rocky P. Ron says, Rod B, you see the Jammer interview on Raw Room. I will not. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go check it out tonight, and I'll be on Thursday. And I'll give y'all my breakdown on Thursday about DBU. And I'll do some research. Now, I'll tell you the truth. If I think Texas is better than LSU, I'll give you that. But like I said, thank you for that super chat, though, Ron. Oh, and Ron had a $5 in there, too. Ron, if you got another question, throw it out there, Runlet, and we'll address that. All right, let's thank a couple of sponsors before we move on here. Let's thank our friend Andy Ludicky and his team for being a part of our team. My Perfect Franchise is our lead sponsor. If you're looking to diversify, you may be someone like myself that has their hands in multiple businesses. Well, Andy and his team can help you diversify by finding you businesses that will fit your time allotment and your financial goals. If you've been stuck in a corporate rat race with 2 weeks PTO and no control over the money you make or your schedule in general, what are you waiting for? Call Andy. He'll take you through a process to help you find a business that will fit your skill sets and your financial goals. We understand franchise ownership isn't for everyone, but if you have a desire to take control of your financial destiny, call Andy today at 404-973-9901. That's 404-973-9901. Or you can reach out at Andy@myperfectfranchise.net. That's Andy@myperfectfranchise.net. And while we're thanking sponsors, let's thank our friends over at Prize Picks as well. If you're not picking with Prize Picks, I'm telling you right now, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is the best way to watch sports these days. We're in the dog days of summer. Yeah, it's hot and things are heating up, but not only outside, things are heating up in the sports world as well. Baseball in full swing. WNBA is rolling, if that's your thing. Obviously, everybody's pretty much invested in the World Cup. There's a lot going on, and Prize Picks just adds more fun to it. Now, every possession matters. Every at-bat matters. You're locked in from start to finish. You're not just watching anymore. You've got a little juice in it. And the best part is, it's really easy. You're picking more or less on player stats. You build your lineup, submit it, and you're good. Takes maybe a minute. And you can go across any sport, right? Basketball, baseball, golf, soccer, even esports, all right? We're just talking about gaming. You can jump on the esports if you want to. Whatever is on, it fits. And we're back on the World Cup action again today. So how about this? Today we got Caitlin Clark to have more than 21.5 points against Phoenix. I like that one because the last 2 times Caitlin Clark has played them, she's averaged 26.5. We're also jumping over to baseball, and taking the A's pitcher Gage Jump to have more than 4.5 strikeouts, and he's averaging 5.2 in his last 5. So we're trusting our gut. That's exactly how we like to do it, and make our picks and lock it in. You can do the same thing. Prize Picks available in all 50 states, including right here in the great state of Texas. So if you haven't jumped in yet, now is the perfect time. Download the app, use the code HMA, play $5, and they'll give you $50 in lineups instantly. Code is HMA, 5 gets you 50. It's just that simple. And as always, play smart, play responsibly, play Prize Picks. All right, let's get back to the super chats, and I promise we'll get into these EA Sports video game rankings. But first, Jam was on May 2nd, 2025 edition of College Football. Watch it just to see Bobby's reactions.
Okay, see, that means Jam was on there and he was being Jam.
Okay, then I'm going back. All right, so there you go, guys. May 2nd, if you missed it. A lot of y'all don't miss college football, and you shouldn't. But obviously I did, so I'm going to go back and check it out because I did not see the Jam interview. And I know I figured they were talking about bringing them on. I remember that, and I remember saying, yeah, just tread lightly. All right, so Jam is not going to, he's not going to censor himself for y'all.
No, he's not a filter.
Yeah, he ain't going to censor himself, so you got to make sure that you're ready to help him or censor him yourself. And we ain't got no dump button on here. He just knows. I'm from the radio world. We had dump buttons back then. All right. Brandon, got another one here, Brandon. That's why you're rising fast up the OTF fam rankings. It's been around since 2023. Just been blessed by God with a new job that pays awesome to be able to give some to what I love and believe in. Hey, you know what? You're paying it for. Cool. Doing, Brandon. You're paying it for, and God bless you. I'm happy you got the gig, man. A gig that pays good money. It's crazy when somebody pays you what you actually believe you're valued at. How it can change your entire perspective on the world. Right? It'll change your perspective on everything when you're actually paid what you're valued at or what you believe you're valued at. So I'm happy that you got the new gig, Brandon, and I'm glad that you're coming on here more often too. Seems like you got a little bit more free time on your hands too. All right, now I'm gonna get more money. So more money and more free time on your hands, Brandon. I don't know what that new gig is, bro, but hey, thank the Lord for that one. That was a good blessing. Yeah. And we happy to have you, man. I'm really excited about you being a part of the OTF fam. All right, Adam Riggs, 1855, says CJ can still be the young prodigy. Has Ken Griffey Jr. ceased to be the kid? Damn.
Well done.
Thank you, Adam.
I ain't gonna lie. That's, you know what? All right, CJ, I think he made the case for you staying the young prodigy, even though you're almost 30.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get at this point, Rod. I mean, as I said, I only got 365 days left.
I always thought see, CJ, he still has this youthful, that's why I was shocked when you said you were 29. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought you were still like mid-20s.
I thought it was like 24, 25.
Yeah, because you got this youthful energy about you, bro, which, by the way, is a good thing. Ladies respond to that. You got youthful energy about you. So that's why I always thought CJ Vogel's a prodigy. But I would say I've been following CJ. How long you been working in covering Texas or in sports entertainment? How long?
2019, 2020.
Exactly. I've been following since then.
2018?
Yeah. I might have been following you even before. I followed CJ early on. I don't know when I followed you. I followed you early on.
Yeah.
I was a fan of CJ before he got on OTF.
Yeah, I remember that was a big follow for me. I looked down and said, whoa, hey.
You deserved it, bro. I follow the people that give me good information. Right, you help me do my job, I'm going to follow you. And that's why I follow CJ, because CJ making my job easy. Hey, doing all the research for me. It's good stuff. All right, Justin Yarborough, good to hear from you, Justin. Hope everything's well. And thank you for that super chat, the last super chat. I apologize. Justin says, CJ, tell us about life on the road with Jerry. Who are you most looking forward to at the MPA? Remember, say no to tacos in the boot.
Justin, fantastic advice. And if you could tell, not my normal setup. I'm down here in Thibodaux. Made the 8-hour drive earlier this morning.
Oh,
so Manning Passing Academy starts tomorrow. We'll be down here till Saturday morning. Jerry and I will be out here. We have a thread going on TexasFootball.com right now. Jerry's great, man. I mean, you get Jerry in a setting where football is around, and then access to coaches or players is there, and I mean, all he does is find out intel and information and questions. Mm-hmm. It's been fun for me to be around him in these settings because, I mean, Rod, the introduction name that you had for Jerry speaks for itself, right? Because he's done this for so long. It's just fun to be around him. I will say, no tacos in the boot, and I will not be joining Jerry for the corn dog stand either. All right, so I'm going to go a different direction on both of those.
Jerry's dad was a coach, so Jerry knows the lingo. So when he goes up to the coaches, he just starts talking like a coach.
It's amazing, and so I've done this thing over my last 5 or 6 years where I go out to the bar and my pickup line is, "Where are you from?" I tell you somewhere, and it's like, "Oh, I got family there," and that's how the conversation starts, right? Yeah. Well, I don't typically have family where a lot of people say that they're from. My family's Dallas, Mesquite, like that area. But being with Jerry, he kind of has that same. He's like, "Oh yeah, I probably live there."
That's true.
Good immediately point. Bring up a coach or a player that lived there or coached there or played there, and he's like, and that's how the conversation starts. I'm like, all right, so this is definitely staying in my pocket. I just got to find a way to be, more well-rounded when it comes to geographical cities and landmarks and players. And it's amazing.
Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna be all right. Because that's what Jerry said. Jerry, because he works so hard, he just wants to get eyes on every prospect he can. He goes to these random places, and when you throw out, "Oh yeah, actually, I'm originally from this part of Georgia," he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a good running back out of there. 1999, he came out. Remember that guy?" He's like, "Yeah, you do remember him."
I saw Terrell Suggs back his junior year out of XYZ High School. I mean, man amongst boys, and everybody's just like, "Oh, he's make that up."
That's Jerry in a nutshell. I agree with that. I've watched him work before, and I'm like, damn, I ain't got that. So that's why we're lucky to have him too. No doubt about that. So Manning Passing Academy, though. I'm glad you're down. That's why we love CJ. He's working hard to get down there too. Who are you looking most forward to seeing at the Manning Passing Academy? That was a good question by Justin.
Yes, it was. I think one of the big names that I'm really looking forward to seeing is it's going to be Julian Sand. And look, I know he's coming off of a monster year. He led college football in passing or completion percentage this year. But there's still a part of me that thinks there should be more out of him. And what I mean by that is you go look at his game against Texas, his game against Miami, and his game against Indiana. He averaged 12.5 points in those 3 games.
Wow. And
that's with what I think we would all argue being one of the top wide receiving rooms in all of the country. You had Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis, and in the backfield you had Bo Jackson with you. I mean, that was a team to me that I thought should have been significantly better. I thought it was the best team in the country defensively, absolutely. But there was something that prevented that offense from being able to score against really talented defense. And I think that starts at the quarterback position. So he's one I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Marcel Reed is another one who will be in attendance. And for folks wondering who some of these quarterbacks are that will be at the Manning camp, some of the the notables, Trinidad Chambliss, C.J. Carr out of Notre Dame, Jaden Maeva, who I haven't gotten to see in person before, the quarterback out of USC. I know a lot of folks really like him. Kevin Jennings from SMU, Gunnar Stockton, Georgia. Drew Mestamaker is going to be another one. You know, the Austin native from North Texas to Oklahoma State. I can't wait to talk to him about Coach Sanders over at Vandegrift and just say, hey, how did things not work out for you as a quarterback at Vandegrift despite all the success you're having now? And then Damon Williams, who I left last year, Rod, if you remember, I was very high on Washington, Damon Williams last year. Well, he's back this year, and I think that Washington team, again, I might be buying in a little bit prematurely, but I do like that Washington team once again this year.
Hey, Marcus, which quarterback? Obviously, we know you like Arch. Outside of Arch, what quarterbacks you like the most in college football for 2026? Who are you keeping on?
When CJ mentioned Maeva, I've watched him a little bit. I like his game. It just something about him kind of has a little bit of a star quality to him, and just seems like a guy that is pretty complete. And then the Notre Dame quarterback, I'm actually curious to see like if he really looks the part to what everybody is kind of billing him to be. So outside of the SEC guys, those are probably the two that I have my eye on the most.
Yeah, they're really high. I got to watch more CJ Carr because they are really high on CJ Carr. And I feel like last year I was watching more of the other stuff when I watched them. I'm watching the defense. I'm a big Little Moore fan. Obviously, Love was a fantastic running back. So I feel like I wasn't watching quarterback enough. And I got to go back and watch CJ Carr because he's at the top of a lot of folks' lists.
Yeah.
Some people got him ranked there. Some people like him better than Arch.
I'm shocked by it, really. Look, I think he's talented, but you go look at and again, it's hard to watch if you don't have all 22 access. It's hard to truly sit down and kind of evaluate these quarterbacks on a down-to-down, game-to-game basis. But you turn on the highlights, and what you see is a lot of wide-open playmakers, right? Guys that are Jaden Greathouse running down the field, tight ends that are open on leaks, running backs out of the backfield. So for CJ Carr this year to not have 2 first-round running backs in his backfield with him, what then does that look like for the play action? Right. For the easy access throws and the yards after catch. I'm really interested by what he looks like this year because, again, Notre Dame with that schedule, they should be a shoo-in to the playoff. They should be a team that contends for a national championship when you consider that defensive talent too, Rod. So I think Carr's another guy that you just look at and say, okay, can he be who we think he is going into the year?
Yeah. No doubt. I think they got the best secondary in the country, too, in my opinion. Obviously led by Leonard Moore, but I think their safety is a little bit underrated as well. All right, back to the Super Chats, and then we'll get to, speaking of video game, we'll get to some of those video game ratings. How about this one from All Right. Thank you for the Super Chat. As a diehard Texas fan, our program isn't really number one in anything. It's mostly top 5, which is cool, but it sure would be nice to get a couple of natties. Okay, are we talking about just football right here? All right. We're definitely talking about football, right?
Because if you're saying athletic program, like they just picked up another trophy.
Yeah, and then they won, right? The softball just won, right? I mean, so softball wins another one. You have 3 national titles this year? I believe it's something like that from Texas sports. Am I making that up, or I just?
He's saying football only.
Football only. Okay, there we go. Now we can talk. All right, football only. I talked to Alex. Alex Okafor has a great take about this because he basically says that kind of Texas fans are arrogant considering what they've accomplished in the last 40, 50 years. But basically, it's only one national title in all that time. Like you ain't, what I mean? It's not like you've been stockpiling national titles in football. You got one, 05. After that, you got to go back to the 70s and the 60s. And he's like, considering that, he's like, we're just an arrogant fan base considering. That it's not you haven't won it. You haven't won a lot of championships. You didn't win that many Big 12s. Consider it. Should have won more. Can we all agree we should have won more Big 12 titles? Texas should have.
Oh yes.
Right. Yes. I mean, hell, how many did Oklahoma get? 12? I'm not joking. I think they got 12. I'm not making that number up. It's something crazy. And you can all remember when Texas won their Big 12 titles. You remember? You count them on one hand, can't you? So I don't disagree with that.
But I am curious about what categories he would be using to define this. Like who are you bumping us up against that would be number one at something?
Georgia.
To me, top 5 across pretty much every category is pretty solid, right? That's when you find a way to put it together. So I don't know how to qualify that necessarily.
I can't remember, Rod, if it was you and I that had the conversation or if it was Jeff Howe as well. But it's when you evaluate, the golden era that we talk about of Texas athletics.
Yeah.
You need a big trophy, a big shiny trophy from one of the big three men's sports, right? And that's what's missing for Texas at the moment. Football, baseball, basketball. I think you need to win something in that conversation. When it comes to other schools that are in that same conversation with Texas to have elite big-time programs, Michigan's won a football title and a basketball title in 3 years, right? LSU has won a baseball and football title in the last 5. I think Florida is another school that very similar to Texas, state school, flagship of the state. Sorry, Matthew. But you have multiple championships in the last 20 years in just about every sport. So for Texas, I think you need to have something that you can point to and say, baseball, basketball, or football, they were the best in the country.
But this is why I asked that question, CJ. Like, if you look at his answer here, what is USC number 1 at? What is Notre Dame number 1 at? Like, of this list, the only 2 you can really be pointing at is Ohio State and Bama.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyways. And I mean, Bama in the Saban era was gonna, hoist it more times than not. Ohio State, has done pretty well, but so I don't know. I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation for sure. But to CJ's point, when you raise it in one of the big three, but if he's talking football only, I mean, only 2 of those 4 have raised it since we have,
and really only in football
before
too.
us, actually. Yeah.
Because I mean, USC, they were trying to make it back to Omaha for the first time in 25 years this year. They've been a no-show despite having as many national championships as they won in this sport. Notre Dame, I can't point to a sport right now that they're nationally contenders outside of football, right? It shocked the hell out of me to see Ohio State was dead last in baseball 2 years ago in the Big Ten, right? I mean, I think Alabama, for what they've done on the hardware or on the hardwood, on the diamond, I mean, they're right there, I think, with Texas when it comes to one of the better overall men's programs in all of the country, Florida, Tennessee in that conversation. But yeah, I'm with you, Marcus. It's hard to sit there and say Texas has done a poor job. They're just missing one little piece to be a golden era in my eyes.
Yeah, I will side with all right. Instead, I do think Texas has underachieved in the major sports. That's because you won championships. Just take football. You got how many conference championships in the last 30 years? 4?
Like 3, 4.
4.
That's come on. That's too few. Oklahoma's got 14. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to look at it from there, that as Texas underachieved as a football program, problem. You could definitely make that case. I can make that case, and I love Texas football. It's in my veins, and I can still make the case they've underachieved. I was on teams that underachieved. I was on teams that won 11 games and underachieved. Won 11 games, didn't beat Oklahoma, didn't win a Big 12 title. Who gives a damn about your 11 wins at that point?
Yeah.
No fans don't care. They want the titles. They want the hardware. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Like I get that. I do. Can I also in this have 2 thoughts at the same time that this particular iteration of Texas football with Steve Sarkisian is trending in the right direction? Hell yes. Should they compete for national titles this year? Yes. Has Sark done a great job of bringing back the standard? Is the standard? Yes, he has.
Mm-hmm.
Still ain't got no trophies though.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that's what he says. He's like, okay, yeah, it's all great. Recruiting rankings and NIL is great and draft picks, all this stuff. How's that translate to the championships? And it hasn't really.
And that's kind of where you get into. I don't want to, get too far ahead of myself here, but with the playoff expanding, how happy are you for as long as you are with just making the playoff? Right? Mm-hmm. I think that's the standard for Texas. I don't, a playoff appearance this year, I don't think is good enough. I don't think fans would just be happy getting into that 12-team playoff. I don't think a lot of folks would just be happy winning a first round game. Right?
No.
You have a ton of talent on this team. Veteran-led quarterback, a lot of experience on that offensive line. Again, knock on wood, they should be better this year. And then you look around and say, okay, where's the deficiency on this roster? It's going to be difficult to look at this season and be pleased if Texas isn't, in that semifinal national championship game.
Yep. Final Four feel like Final Four bust almost for Texas this season in football. But like I said, I remember being on Mac. It's really unfair. Like Texas football can be really unfair to a coach. Because I remember Mac got here. Mac didn't really have time to enjoy the spoils of having a Heisman Trophy winner, beating Nebraska for a signature win. And then by the time he got all that going and get a number 1 recruiting class, he did all that. And then beat Oklahoma actually early on too. And then did all that, and Longhorn fans ceased to care after Oklahoma won the national title.
Yeah.
Didn't give a damn about it. It was like, Mac, it was like, go talk to somebody else about that. We don't care. We don't care about the recruiting classes. Show me the baby. I don't want to hear about the pain. Just show me the baby. And Mac was a prisoner of his own excellence. He was winning 10, 11 games, not beating Oklahoma, not winning a conference championship, and Longhorn fans were ready to get him out. I remember that. I was like, I don't know if Mac's the one. Like, he was winning double-digit games. He can't beat Bob Stoops, can't win a Big 12 title, can't get to the national title. I don't know if he's the guy. And then he finally got there, all right, with VY, and then Longhorn fans were like, okay, he's definitely the man. He's definitely the man. Yeah. But guys, y'all were still unsure to about 03, 04. Don't act like you were. Like,
even in 04, right? We were still winning 10 games and getting booed. We weren't winning by enough. Like, I didn't come to make the full connection until later, but like we weren't winning by enough, right? Yep. At times. And so I get it. I do. I definitely get it.
Well, and it's something I think Sark has mentioned a couple times, because I think you see the noise around Ryan Day losing to Michigan 5 straight times and falling flat. Yep. You get over that hump and you become that made man. Because Sark's mentioned it several times this offseason. He's like, look, I just saw what happened to James Franklin at Penn State, a team that, for as long as I can remember, has been that kind of 3rd or 4th fiddle in the Big Ten, but they've been right there. They've been right on the cusp. They just couldn't get over the hump of Ohio State or Michigan and win the Big Ten or Oregon now. But, I think Sark looks at that and says, I know I can't fall into that category, right? Stay away from the James Franklin trap. It's time to win something now.
That's true. Yeah, right. That's a good point by Ryan Day, though. Even with Jim Harbaugh, he was having trouble with Michigan, all that kind of stuff, and finally was able to break through. I remember when Kirby Smart couldn't break through. Yeah. He had trouble beating Bama and beating Nick Saban, and finally, boom, he gets over the hump. So this may be Sark it helped. We all remember Mac, right? It took Mac a while to figure out how to conquer Bob Stoops, and then bringing the right pieces together, coaches and players, to be able to win a national title. So this seems like that process for Sark, where he's been banging on the door, knocking on the door for a while. Time for him to kick it in. It's about that time. And 2026 seems like the kick dough Sark. Yeah. The offseason would be like a kick dough Sark, man. He's been talking a lot of trash too. All right, super chats, getting back to him. That was a good one there. Appreciate that one. All right. Bandit, next up, thank you for the super chat. Says, it would be unfair for me to say Sark should be fired if he didn't win it all this year. That being said, if he doesn't get one this year, I don't know if he ever will while he's at Texas. That is a great point. He should firing Sark if he doesn't win the national title this year is crazy, because I feel like they're not a shoe-in, but I feel like they're like a 60+% chance to make the playoffs, or probably even greater than that, depending on how things work out. That would be crazy to me. Like, that's ludicrous. Anybody saying that to me, or he's on the hot seat, or that kind of stuff, like, that's asinine. But I do feel you on the point that this is his most talented team. This seems like if you're going to make that move, this seems like the team that would do it, because you got veterans out there, proven commodities, and in Manning at quarterback. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough schedule. I can't. There's no way to sugarcoat that. That's the toughest schedule in the country. So I can't guarantee you're gonna go roughshod through that schedule without getting some nicks, and also guys getting a couple of losses here and there. So,
and that's probably the coaches. I don't know how many coaches tune into us on a Wednesday night, but when we sit here and say Texas should probably be in that semifinal game, right? They should probably be in that final 4, 5, 6 teams in the entire country this year. And we sit here and also talk about how difficult the schedule is. The coach is like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Right? You got to play Ohio State and then 9 teams in the SEC. Give me a break.
Jeez. Yeah.
But again, you look at the roster, you look at a 4th-year system quarterback. Pieces are there. It's hard not to be, holding that standard as high as it is currently.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that super chat, Bandit. We appreciate it. Got another one here. Got a super chat here. How about this one from Mello? Mello. Oh, Mello's got two of them. Mello.
Yeah, Mello, what's up?
Woo! Thank you, Mello. Mello's got two of them in here, so let's go one by one. Mello says, "Go Bucks." 9-12 Bucks on top. I'm telling you, scary hours on the way. Yeah, we'll see about how the Buckeyes look, man. They lost a ton of talent last year, but we all know they're just gonna bring other 5-star guys to fill all those voids that they have now because of the draft. I'm worried about. Well, not worried. I have questions about Arthur Smith as a play caller. So I think talent-wise, Ohio State won't have many weaknesses talent-wise. They've been recruiting like a juggernaut. But I do wonder philosophically if Arthur Smith, if there'll be some growing pains, I should say, with that offense and Arthur Smith. It shouldn't be, because it should just be, obviously Julian Sand, veteran quarterback, Jeremiah Smith, best receiver in the country. You got Jackson in the backfield. I mean, they're loaded, but Arthur Smith, even in the NFL, he had a ton of talent and was highly criticized for the way he weaponized and utilized that talent. Throwing it out there. Mello also says, forgot to say, thank you, Mello, for the super chat, the big time one. Forgot to say that you guys do great work. Came on and saw the chat flapping their gums about Julian Sand and Ohio State, even though Sand outperformed Arch head to head. He did. And against a common opponent. He said against a common opponent as well. And just overall, Sand is better presently. I don't know if I jump on that limb with you, Mello. I do agree he outperformed him though. But I can't say he's better. I like Arch better than I like Julian.
I mean, I think certainly saying outperformed Arch in that week 1 game last year. No question about it. I think what you saw towards the end of the year with Arch just basically carrying this Texas offense with a poor offensive line, non-existent running game, and doing basically everything without turning the ball over against 4 top 25 defenses. That to me gets the nod. Again, it was the ending of the season where one team was finishing, or at least one quarterback was trending up, and then those 2 final performances, one against Indiana, the other against Miami. Again, fantastic, very talented defenses. You average 12 points. I mean, that's not good enough with the talent that Ohio State has. And in those biggest games, you just didn't get much out of the quarterback. He didn't take over games the way that you hoped a top 3, top 5 quarterback in the entire country would. The legs are not an issue, or not a threat to me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. He Sand has a bit of a statuesque nature to him, and if he has time, he can certainly pick you apart. But you heat him up a little bit and put some pressure on him. There's not much he can do. He tends to fold a bit, whereas as biased as we may be, I think we try to call it how we see it. And by season's end, it was almost like Arch got better when pressure was present. Like he seemed to kind of rise to the moment in those situations. And so I certainly think, coming into this season, you don't want to have to rely on that. But I'm not saying, head and shoulders above them based on how they both finished the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, Marcus, to your point, look at the game ceiling runs, right? The touchdown run against A&M, the touchdown run against Michigan, where you just sit there and say, okay, he put the team on his back when they absolutely needed him. I don't know when in those big games you could point to that for Julian Sand against top opponents, right? I think Michigan had a fine game. Michigan's not that team that we saw 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So that's what I just need to see more out of Julian Sand. I hope I do this weekend here at the Manning camp.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, so check out CJ's breakdowns, because CJ will let you know if who's looking real good at those passing drills at the Manning Passing Academy. Thank you, Mello. We appreciate that, Mello. You're my favorite Buckeye fan, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're my favorite Buckeye fan by far. And not that they're bad Buckeye fans. I like them, but you're my favorite by far. All right, Rocky P with a super chat here says, Rod Marcus, why don't y'all like CJ? Y'all got all that game and not helping him out.
Help me.
Hey, I love CJ. All right. Now you talking. What do you mean all that game? You talking about being his wingman, going out there? What?
Yeah, the chat wasn't liking that. My pickup line was just, "Hey, where are you from? Oh, I got family there." Hey,
I can help you out. If CJ needs help with that, I definitely can. I don't know if my moves still work anymore because it's been a while. I ain't gonna lie. But Marcus got some. We got some tips from CJ. I got some tips from CJ. CJ, like this. What kind of? Are you looking for a serious relationship, or you want just a fling? and you want friends with
No,
benefits.
come on,
Whatever
Rod,
you
I'm
think,
pushing 30. It's about time I look in the mirror and say,
you
"Hey,
want you want a wifey? You want a wifey then?
Eventually."
Oh, that's different than Marcus. I thought he was just out there having a good time.
Yeah. See, I always see the gift, the marching, CJ's marching gift to 6th Street. So it seems like he's still, just living the life. I know when I was ready to kind of get up off of that, then you're not marching that way as frequently. So
Yeah.
but maybe, as he's maturing and entering his, 29th year, that he's starting to shift it a little bit.
Maybe
That's
so.
probably. I mean, this year we're probably going to have to go to the well and change some things up. I have to retire the marching gift.
You might. Are you still going? What part of 6th Street are we going to? Are you going down? You ain't going on the East 6th, so you're not down there.
Rainy Street is fully back, Rod. We're headed straight there. We're headed straight there.
Rainy is different though. Rainy's like a little mix of young professionals and some of the the East 6th Street kind of crowd there. Okay, all right. So CJ's changed it up a little bit. Rainy. I'll admit, Rainy, the way it looks now is totally different than what I used to hang with Rainy too. So maybe a different crowd there altogether. But if CJ needs a wingman, I've told my wife that because my actually I got a family member now that's newly single too. I was telling my wife, I said, I'm about to go out with some of my friends as a wingman. She's like, cool. That means she trusts me. I can go out with friends and be their wingman, help them pick up chicks. My wife is cool with me just going back home. She knows I'm loyal. I'm man. I'm like a chocolate lab. All right, let's get to these rankings for EA Sports real quick before we end tonight's live stream. All right, let's talk about first the overall team rankings. All right, because they gave us team rankings, and we got some position rankings too. But the team rankings first, top 10 teams on EA College Football 2027, gentlemen. Starting out. Here you have the Oregon Ducks as the highest rated team, 91. All right. And tied with the second highest rating, Ohio State and Indiana. Man, that Big Ten is a beast, ain't it? Then Notre Dame and Texas, tied with the third best rating overall. All right, gentlemen, I'll ask you first, Marcus. Buy or sell these EA Sports ratings? You're buying Texas as an 89 overall, tied with Notre Dame, behind Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. Or you selling?
I guess I would be selling it if I think they should be higher. Is that how we're doing this?
Yep. You buy it if you like it. Sell it if you don't like it.
I would probably put them more on par with Ohio State.
Oh.
Maybe I'm underselling. What's the Indiana? Josh Hoover. I'm not necessarily a Josh Hoover believer in the same manner. I don't see him replicating, a Mendoza type year. So maybe that's, where I doubt them some, but you also can't doubt the guy that's calling it all for them. So you never know. And then to CJ's earlier point, I've just not seen enough of CJ Carr to say I think he can sustain losing 2 first-round running backs in that manner. I think when you look at Oregon and Ohio State, they've assembled the type of talent that basically Texas is typically in the final running for. And so I can see, what people believe in and more. I'm not sure I'm all the way there, but I can understand it. And then you have the Decorium Moore. And I guess, is Evan Stewart even still there at this point? Or is he not even healthy? I don't know how relevant he is, but they're just a team that's assembled quite the collection of talent. So I would probably sell them being behind Notre Dame and Indiana, and I would put them on par with the top 2.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Again, Notre Dame is going to be in that similar conversation with Ohio State where playmakers just replenish, but on the offensive line, right? I think that offensive line for Notre Dame, you just never need to worry if that unit is going to gel, right? And you can include tight ends because Notre Dame's been able to spit out tight ends consistently for the last history of the sport. So their run game should be there. I do think that even after losing 2 first-round running backs, and I think Jeremiah Love is as freaky as anybody that we've seen come out of college football in the last couple of years, I think they're going to be just fine. My question, again, is CJ Carr. I also have questions about Josh Hoover. He threw too many interceptions at TCU. You didn't see many turnovers at all for Fernando Mendoza or Curtis Rourke, right? When Indiana was first surprising folks, Curtis Rourke was playing on one ACL, taking taking care of the football and putting points on the board. Can Josh Hoover do that? I think so with Nick Marsh. I will say this. I'm surprised to see Georgia as low as they are. A returning veteran quarterback.
Yep.
Kirby Smart's still alive.
Yeah.
Surprised to see them all the way down there.
Backfield's going to be pretty good. Their defensive backfield, I think, is going to be one of the best in the SEC too. And their schedule, I know they don't consider that here top team. Their schedule is, I ain't gonna say it's a cake schedule, but it's favorable. It's a favorable schedule. But I think you're right. I mean, 89. It's hard for me to argue with Texas at an 89, considering what they did last year and how the offensive line looked last year. So I'm cool with 89. I really am. I think Texas still at 89. Where they are, where that puts them in the final, puts them as the top 4 teams. Texas should be a Final Four team.
Yeah,
I don't know who ends up dropping out of that, but if you got Texas one of your top 4 teams in college football, that's how I feel about the Longhorns. So I kind of feel like EA Sports might be on it here. It might be pretty accurate. All right, let's go with top quarterbacks here. Top 10 quarterbacks based on EA College Football 2027 rankings. Oh, you guys ain't gonna like this at all. I got a feeling y'all ain't gonna like this at all. Here we go. Dante Moore, number 1 on this. This is a 95 overall. Julian Sand, hey, my man Mello. They agreed with Mello. Julian Sand, 94 overall, second highest rated QB here. Trinidad Chambers, Texas will see him, obviously. And Julian Sand, he's a 93, third best score. Jade Mayava, 92, fourth best out of USC. CJ Carr, talked about him in Notre Dame, also at 92. Then Arch Manning. So they got Arch Manning, all right, with the, 5th highest overall rating here.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an issue with the rankings itself. Look, I mean, Arch for half the football season was not a good quarterback, right? He just wasn't. There were too many performances that left you sitting there saying, really? You know? But again, that back half of the season showed you something. Now, can he replicate that? I think he would prove this list wrong. My issue, and again, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, is the distance between the rankings. Dante Moore is not a 95 if Arch is a 91, right? Mm-hmm. That's not the case. Yeah. Julian Sand, again, we went over that earlier. Now, I do think Trinidad Chambliss is completely fair. I think Gunnar Stockton should certainly be in this conversation too, for how much of an impact he has for that offense. So I don't really have too much to say on this other than Noah Fafita has to show me something this year because he took a major step back a year ago. But Darian Mensah, I think, is going to put up a monster numbers, Marcus. That's my guy that I look at and say, yeah, I know the name because he's going to be protected and he can create very well.
Well, he can create, and then he can just get the ball to Malachi Toney, who helps any quarterback, right? So, I mean, I'm with you. I think, the only other one on that list that sticks out to me is like I agree with you. I would have Gunnar Stockton on the list, and I wouldn't have John Mateer on it. I know that hurts a bit, CJ, but I didn't buy the hype last year. There's more tape on him this year, so I don't see where the jump comes. And it's not like this is his first or second year with the coach. I mean, the coach that he came over from Washington State with was his coach there before he was at OU. So I'm not entirely certain that he has it for me, but it's kind of splitting hairs. But I agree on the gap not being as wide between Moore and Manning for sure.
Mm-hmm. Which one of these quarterbacks scares you the most? Because Texas is going to play 4 of these guys, right? You're going to play Sam Levitt.
Chambliss. Yep.
Agreed. Yeah. Even when it comes to like Arch, I feel like Chambliss is a little bit scarier, even than Arch is, because he has his clutch gene that is freaky in critical moments, and he's got that. And so he might be the scariest on this list, and I think obviously on the Texas schedule too.
Agreed.
All right. So one more. I want to go over the wide receiver rankings with you guys too. Obviously, Texas wide receiving core being loaded this year. Here is what they say about the wide receivers. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith, as close to perfect as you can get. He's a 99 overall rating year. And Malachi Toney is a 96. And honestly, I don't think that's that far off. I think he might be that good, Malachi Toney. Mm-hmm. Cam Coleman at a 92. They got him tied with Deuce Robinson of Florida State and KJ Duff out of Rutgers. We buy or sell. We buy or selling this, Marcus, that Cam Coleman tied for being the third best receiver in college football behind Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Toney.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. as it begins the season, I could very well see you're making the argument, that he's much closer to the 99 and the 92 by season's end. Jeremiah Smith is just from a different planet, though, so I'm not willing to put anybody, right on par with him to this point. But I could certainly see huge seasons out of Coleman and Tony. The rest of the list is like a coin flip. Like you could interchange any number of those guys, in my opinion, and probably add a handful that aren't even on it. I'm kind of shocked to see Deuce Robinson that high, but I guess it's just pick your flavor of receiver after you get past 3.
You like those big, lengthy wide receivers. He's your guy. I like Duff, but he had about 55% of his receiving yards a year ago in 3 games. So to be the 4th or 5th highest rated wide receiver going into the year, I think you need to see a little bit more consistency. Shout out to Danny Scudero because Texas got to see him a year ago. San Jose State, he is the slot receiver that I think's had 23 targets in that game against the Longhorns. Good to see him get some recognition. I was a big fan of his last year.
And the highest rated Longhorn overall, I believe, if I'm looking at the ratings here correctly, I believe your highest rated may be Trevor Gooseby. They got 94 overall.
Over Colin Simmons. That's surprising.
I believe so. I'm looking at the rating. Maybe I'm looking at offense. Maybe this is all offense here.
I feel like Colin would be pretty close to like a 95.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I believe this is offense. I apologize. I think it's all offense. He's the highest rated offensive player. I do not. Yeah, I think this is all offense here. Yeah, offensive positions. So I haven't gotten the defense yet, but I can get that for you too. So overall, I mean, like I said, we'll see. The ratings weren't that far off, and a lot of people like to compare that. And don't they give updates during the season to update the ratings? Right?
Yeah, they update throughout. You can update online. So
okay, so hopefully. They'll get it right by the end of the season. All right, there you go. Well, when I get the defensive ones, I think they're going to put out all the offensive rankings and ratings. I'll get to the defensive ones maybe tomorrow when it comes out. All right, one last super chat before we end tonight's live stream. Brandon, of course. It's Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate the super chat as always. Why don't you think Trinidad Chambers went to LSU with Lane Kiffin if he was that great? That's a great question. I don't know that. Why didn't he go with Lane Kiffin to LSU?
I think this is a large part of it. NIL and rev share, loyalty. Look, I think you have a chance at Ole Miss to be a true legend, to put yourself in the conversation with Eli Manning at that school, right? We saw it during Arch's recruitment. They put Manning's name everywhere. They have it on street signs. They put it in the end zone, right? I think that lineage, that legacy that you leave behind at a school is very enticing for a guy that didn't have really a lot of options at Ferris State. And so to see how his fan base embraced him on the playoff run, why would you leave that? I that's my eyes on it.
I think as much as I agree with you, CJ, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate side of trying to understand it too. And it makes me wonder, like, who did he actually bond with the most, quote unquote, / who actually discovered him at Ferris State? Because you would think that it would be the guys that left, right? But maybe not. Maybe there was another coach that, he just and or collection of coaches and everything else that you spoke to, CJ, that are still at Ole Miss, that he just felt like, hey, I want to stay here and finish it out.
Mm-hmm. And that was like one of the greatest seasons in the history of Ole Miss football, right? Like some of the greatest seasons. So I don't know. Maybe CJ's right about that. Maybe it mattered to him to be, a legacy, to be a legend. Remember we talked about the Quinn Ewers that he got offered, what they say, 4 or 5 million, whatever it was, to go to another, to have one more year eligibility somewhere else other than Texas. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to the NFL. I'll probably make less money because I'll get drafted late, but I'll still be a lifetime Longhorn in a lot of people's eyes. And he even brought up that when I'm done with football and when I go back to Texas to live in Texas and do business in Texas, that it's going to matter to all of the business owners in Texas that I'm a Longhorn. I'm not Ohio State Buckeye. Yeah, I went there, but I'm a Longhorn. You know what I mean? So I think that holds a little bit of significance. At least I would hope that is the case. I think this is maybe me just trying to see the brighter side of things. But I'm hoping that mattered to him because I like that it mattered to Quinn.
Agreed.
All right, let's thank our final sponsor, Laura Baker. We appreciate accomplished Austin realtor Laura Baker. Folks, If you have any concerns or questions about real estate in the Austin area, do not hesitate to reach out today. This live stream brought to you by accomplished Austin realtor Laura Baker. Laura and the Andy Allen team and Keller Williams handle all of your real estate needs in the Austin area. Laura is not only a diehard Longhorn fan, but a long-time Austin real estate expert. So please give her a shout today. 512-784-0505. That's 512-784-0505. Thank you very much to Laura Baker. Also reach out at laura@andyallenteam.com. That's laura@andyallenteam.com. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great stuff, Marcus. Appreciate always good working with you. It's been a while, man. I forget how much fun it is. Thank you, CJ. Happy birthday again to CJ.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
How you gonna celebrate the last hours of your B-Day, man? You gonna do some?
I'll go watch some World Cup hockey or World Cup soccer. Excuse me.
Okay. Right.
You know those walk-on bistros.
Oh yeah. Get out
go
there.
Grab some wings.
Go find you one of them Cajun women. My whole family from Louisiana, man. Maybe that's what you need.
Cajun spice.
Yes. Hey, give it up for Matthew. He's a real MVP. Nobody does it better. Appreciate Matthew as well. And thanks to each and every one of you out there. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all you guys, your participation today. It's been a really, really fun show. Also, if we missed any of your questions or comments, please direct them to the gentleman at Coffee and Football bright and early tomorrow morning. That'll be my man Bobby Burton, the man, the myth, the legend himself, and the estimable Jerry Hamilton. That'll be bright and early at 8:15 a.m. And then we'll have your 7 p.m. live stream. Myself, CJ Vogel, Coach Bob Shibley will be back with the winning drive, the primetime edition, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Also, if you want to get hooked up with the best coverage of Texas football, please go over to OwenTexasFootball.com and don't forget $3 for 3 months. You won't find a better deal than that for new subscribers only, but it's trust me, folks, we're a ball on the budget. You won't find a better deal. The best coverage of Texas football around, the best coverage of Texas football recruiting around, and for just pennies on the dollar. Best deal you can get for a limited time right now, so check it out. For Matthew and for CJ and for Marcus, I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Until next time, hook 'em horns.
Welcome.